This AI system now scores and filters every inbound lead before I even open my inbox, and it saves me 5 to 7 hours every week. Until recently, every new lead meant I had to stop what I was doing and manually decide if it was worth my time. 5 to 7 hours every week were spent just reading, judging, and routing inbound messages. Some strong leads waited too long. Some weak ones made it onto my calendar. Revenue timing depended on how fast I triaged my inbox. A few months ago, I was manually reviewing every inbound lead that entered my inbox, every form submission, every cold email, every referral introduction. I was reading each message, trying to judge intent, budget, seriousness, and fit. It took between 5 and 7 hours every week. And worse than the time cost, it created inconsistency. Some high-quality leads waited too long for a reply. Some low-quality leads consumed unnecessary calls. My CRM entries were incomplete. Follow-ups were uneven. Today, I do not manually qualify inbound leads anymore. An AI system now reads, categorizes, scores, and routes every new inquiry before I even open my inbox. It extracts budget indicators, urgency signals, project scope, and intent language. It assigns a structured score. It drafts a reply, it updates my CRM, and it flags only the leads that actually deserve my attention. The result is measurable. 40% fewer low-quality calls, 100% CRM capture rate, first response time reduced by more than half, 5 to 7 hours reclaimed every week. This is not about automation for its own sake. It is about designing a deterministic system that replaces repetitive qualification work with structured logic. For most solo founders, lead qualification feels deceptively simple. A message comes in, you read it, you respond, you decide whether to schedule a call, but the friction hides in repetition. Every inbound inquiry requires mental parsing. Who is this person? What do they want? Do they have budget? Is this urgent? Is it aligned with my offer? Even when the answer is obvious, the process repeats dozens of times per month. The real problem is not complexity, it is cognitive load. You are constantly switching context, scanning inboxes, copying details into a CRM, checking calendars, drafting responses. Sometimes you forget to log information, sometimes you delay replies, and occasionally a high-value lead gets buried between newsletters and admin notifications. Manual qualification is reactive and memory-dependent. It relies on attention. Attention fluctuates. Systems do not. The goal was not to automate replies. The goal was to design a structured intake system that evaluates every inbound message consistently, using explicit rules before I ever see it. The system is built around 4 layers: capture, interpretation, scoring, and routing. This architecture is not theoretical. It can be built using widely available tools without complex engineering. The capture layer can run through Gmail filters, Typeform, or Webflow forms, and automation platforms like Zapier or Make. The trigger is simple. When a new inbound message or form submission arrives, the workflow activates automatically. The interpretation layer typically uses an AI model such as OpenAI GPT models or Claude inside the automation platform. The model receives the inbound message and returns a strict structured object with predefined fields like category, budget signals, urgency level, project type, confidence score, and recommended next action. The scoring logic can run directly inside Zapier, Make, Airtable formulas, or a lightweight serverless function. Deterministic rules apply numeric weights to the extracted data. The routing layer then connects to your CRM, whether that is Notion, HubSpot, Airtable, or another system, and executes the appropriate path. Tools execute. Architecture decides. Here is how information actually moves between layers in practice. When a new email arrives in Gmail or a new form submission is received, that event becomes the trigger inside Zapier or Make. The full message body, subject line, sender metadata, and any structured form fields are passed as inputs into the next step of the workflow. That input payload is then sent directly to the AI layer as structured text. The automation platform inserts the raw message into a predefined prompt template. The AI does not see your inbox. It only receives the extracted message content and instructions to return structured fields. The AI response comes back as a structured JSON object. This is not coding, it is predefined fields moving from one step to the next inside the automation platform. Zapier or Make immediately parses that JSON. Each field inside the response, category, urgency, budget indicator, confidence score becomes usable data inside the automation platform. This makes the process automated and reliable. The scoring layer reads those parsed fields and applies weighted rules without any manual review. For example, if the budget indicator field contains a value above your defined threshold, the automation platform adds points to a running score variable. If the urgency flag is true, priority increases. The scoring happens as conditional logic steps inside the automation workflow. Once the final score variable is calculated, the routing step executes. If the score is above the high fit threshold, the automation platform creates or updates a record inside your CRM with the parsed data fields. If the score falls into a medium range, the system triggers a follow-up email draft and schedules a task. The entire process typically completes in under 10 seconds after the message arrives. If it falls below threshold, it routes to a review queue or a decline template. At no point is data manually copied. Each layer passes structured variables forward. Capture produces a payload. Interpretation produces structured fields. Scoring produces a numeric decision variable. Routing converts that decision into an action inside your CRM or calendar. That movement of structured data between layers is what turns AI from a chat tool into an operational system. Let me show you how this behaves in real life. Imagine a new email arrives with the subject, "Need help launching a paid ad campaign next month." The message mentions a $5,000 per month budget and a 4-week timeline. The capture layer passes the full message body and metadata into the automation workflow. The interpretation layer extracts the following fields: project type, paid advertising; budget indicator, high; urgency flag, true; timeline, 4 weeks; confidence score, 0.87. The scoring layer then applies rules. Budget above threshold adds points. Urgency adds priority weight. The final computed score crosses the high fit threshold. The routing layer automatically creates a CRM record tagged high fit, attaches the extracted fields, drafts a tailored reply acknowledging the budget and timeline, and generates a calendar scheduling link. Now imagine a different email. "I am a student building a side project with no budget." The interpretation layer extracts low budget, non-commercial intent, and low urgency. The scoring logic reduces the score below threshold. The routing layer sends a polite decline template and archives the inquiry without scheduling a call. Same system, same rules, different outcomes. No manual triage required. The capture layer can be powered by Gmail filters, Typeform or Webflow forms, and automation platforms like Zapier or Make. When a new inbound message or form submission arrives, the workflow activates automatically. The interpretation layer typically uses an AI model such as GPT or Claude inside the automation platform. The model receives the inbound message and returns a strict structured object with predefined fields, category, budget signals, urgency, project type, confidence score, and recommended action. The scoring layer applies deterministic logic. This can run inside Zapier, Make, or a lightweight function. Weighted rules evaluate extracted signals. Budget language increases score. Urgency language increases priority. Misaligned keywords reduce score. With confidence thresholds, audit logs, and draft-only replies, the system stays safe and accountable. The result is fewer low-quality calls, 100% CRM capture, and faster response times. For solo founders, this creates consistent qualification and the leverage of a small team, without hiring. The routing layer connects to your CRM, whether that is Notion, HubSpot, Airtable, or another system. High-fit leads create priority records. Medium-fit leads enter nurture sequences. Low-fit leads receive structured decline responses. The key to stability is structured output. The AI does not respond in open prose. It outputs defined fields. If a field cannot be confidently inferred, it remains blank. If ambiguity exists, confidence decreases. That confidence metric determines whether the lead is automatically routed or flagged for review. This prevents consistency problems. The same input produces the same structured decision. Any automation touching revenue must include safeguards. Confidence thresholds. route uncertain cases to manual review. Audit logs record the original message, extracted data, score, and routing decision. Draft replies are generated, and they are not sent automatically without approval. Sensitive attachments can bypass AI processing entirely. After implementation, measurable change followed. Time spent manually reviewing inbound inquiries dropped from 5 to 7 hours per week to less than 1 hour per week. Discovery calls became more productive. Low-quality inquiries decreased significantly because the scoring filter prevented unnecessary scheduling. CRM data completeness improved because every inbound inquiry generated structured entries automatically. Response speed improved because high-priority leads were flagged instantly. The system does not exist in isolation. High-fit leads trigger proposal workflows. Budget data informs pricing logic. Timeline extraction informs scheduling windows. Medium-fit leads enter structured follow-up sequences. Weekly dashboards aggregate lead scores and conversion patterns. Structured intake becomes operational intelligence. Solo founders do not need more tools. They need fewer repetitive decisions. This architecture can be assembled using common automation tools and AI models without complex engineering. What matters is not the specific tool stack. It is the layered design, capture, interpret, score, route. Manual qualification feels manageable at small volume. But as inbound increases, inconsistency increases. Delays increase. Missed opportunities increase. The bottleneck shifts from lead generation to lead handling. This system converts reactive inbox management into structured intake processing. It encodes your qualification criteria explicitly so they are applied consistently. Instead of relying on memory or fluctuating attention, you rely on architecture. 5 to 7 hours reclaimed weekly is strategic capacity. Reduced decision fatigue is strategic clarity. Faster response time is strategic advantage. The shift is not from human to machine. It is from inconsistency to structure. Lead qualification is only one layer. When layered with reporting, onboarding, documentation, and task management systems, a solo founder begins to operate with the leverage of a small team without increasing headcount. Structured AI systems protect focus. Focus is the scarcest resource in a one-person business. This intake layer is only the beginning. The next system in the stack compounds this leverage even further.